me!
Yes, I think yeah.
How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned? How'd it get burned?
Very few actors rise to the level of being an intergenerational icon. Having a career that spans multiple decades and genres is a pursuit that all creatives aspire to, but Nicolas Cage, he's done something better. He's pushed the medium of film to the next level. Nick Cage is the first actor to become his own genre.
Not me. I'm me. Not me.
Before we dive too deep into this episode, please be sure to like this video and subscribe to Nerdstalgic for more videos just like this one. Arguably the greatest character that Nick Cage has ever created was himself.
Nick Cage.
Born Nicolas Coppola, his father August Coppola was a professor of literature and the brother of famed film director Francis Ford Coppola. Young Nicolas would eventually be bit by the entertainment bug, and here's where we enter the first era of Cage. Nick Coppola's first acting work was the 1981 pilot The Best of Times, which unfortunately failed to get picked up by ABC. However, it would be the next year that he would land a non-speaking part in Fast Times at Ridgemont High. While shooting his scene, he realized that his famous family's legacy was negatively impacting his career. Hollywood legend has it that everyone on set was endlessly quoting The Godfather and Apocalypse Now to him.
You can act like a man! What's the matter with you?
So, he took matters into his own hands and decided to change his surname to circumvent the issue entirely. He dubbed himself Nick Cage, his new last name taken from the comic book character Luke Cage that the young Nick had loved. This was the first step toward inventing his new persona. In quick succession, Cage landed parts in Valley Girl, Rumblefish, and Racing with the Moon. He had his foot in the door. He would spend the next decade having ups and downs in both critically acclaimed indie pictures like Vampire's Kiss and cult classics like Wild at Heart, and critical disappointments like Firebirds. But through it all, Cage proved one thing above all else. He took the craft seriously, and most important of all, he had something a little extra, an unpredictable quality that set him apart from his peers. These shining moments would appear from time to time, smoldering embers of the brilliance that he had in store for audiences. Take, for example, the improvisational reciting of the alphabet in Vampire's Kiss.
R-S-T-U-V-W-X-Y-Z! Huh? That's all you have to do!
Big swings like this had two effects on Cage's early career. When they worked. And when they failed spectacularly.
You got the wrong attitude about all this, Cyrus. You gotta keep positive.
However, as Nick Cage continued to build a public awareness of his persona, he got a few solid breaks. During the mid-90s, Nick Cage transcends. All of the quirky choices and strange rhythms he'd been bringing to parts paid off. From his Oscar win for Leaving Las Vegas, to his blockbuster action 1-2 punch of The Rock and Con Air, to his campy big-budget John Woo studio film,
Face.
Nick Cage took over Hollywood. Starting roughly in 1995 to going to about 2003, the man just could not be stopped, which leads us to what many thought would be the final chapter of Cage's career. Following a period headlining franchises like Ghost Rider and National Treasure, Nick Cage and the IRS had a little disagreement. You see, around the early 2010s, word hit the street that the beloved actor had spent all of his $150 million fortune and had a debt of $6.3 million owed to the IRS.
Ever heard of a line?
Hey, have you ever been dragged to the sidewalk and beat until you pissed blood?
So what did Cage do? He turned to direct-to-DVD movies and low-budget schlock to get him out of financial trouble. Initially, this seemed like an unthinkable move for one of the most famous people on the planet, but Cage told a GQ interviewer, "I've got all these creditors and the IRS, and I'm spending $20,000 a month trying to keep my mother out of a mental institution. It was just all happening at once." Let's just say that we all make choices in life, and Cage felt he had no option but to star in films like USS Indianapolis, Men of Courage, Arsenal, and Left Behind.
Just saying you could be a little more strategic, make more movie star choices.
And this right here would probably be where most people's careers would end. They would have scuttled their legacy and reputation attempting to just stave off a prison sentence for back taxes. They would be Wesley Snipes, basically, a has-been relic from a bygone era of Hollywood. But Nick Cage did something else. He reinvented himself, yet again. Alright, we're gonna take a quick break from this video because today I've partnered with Golden Nugget for a very cool opportunity. I personally love Vegas, but I love staying home even more. Enter Golden Nugget Online Casino, the online casino app where you can play all your favorite casino games right from your phone, with great slot games like Cleopatra, Fortune Coin, and so many more, plus an assortment of Gold Nugget exclusives. The best part is that right now, all new customers who sign up using promo code Nerdstalgic and make a minimum $5 deposit will get the deposit matched, dollar for dollar, up to $1,000 in bonus funds. So right after this video, all new customers should head to the Golden Nuggets Casino app and sign up using promo code Nerdstalgic, make a deposit of at least $5, and Golden Nugget will match that deposit dollar for dollar up to $1,000 in bonus funds. And I'll see you at the casino. And now, back to the video. In today's landscape, there's very little room for making films with a distinct point of view. The films that Nick Cage was involved with when he first came up, all the way back in the 80s, just don't exist anymore. Now that he's out of IRS work camp decision mode, he chooses weird, new things to do. And because of his filmic ambitions, he's drawn to unique and off-kilter ideas. Therefore, Nick Cage is almost solely responsible for an indie and art house film renaissance. He's as much a patron of the arts now as he is the vessel that which that art is brought to the people. Why? If a big enough movie star is willing to sign on the dotted line, these bizarre indie productions actually get financing. Films like Pig and Color Out of Space would just not be made without Cage's involvement. Even less artistically ambitious films like Prisoners of the Ghostland or Willy's Wonderland just wouldn't see the light of day without Cage being there to be like, yes, I will make a movie where I don't say anything the whole time. That sounds fun. Mandy specifically is a perfect example of this phenomenon. It's an acid trip revenge movie that features a chainsaw sword fight. Director Panos Cosmatos was trying for years to get the film greenlit, and he even went to Nick Cage to play the villain, but when Cage said he wanted to play the protagonist, Cosmatos had no choice but to rewrite the picture in order to gain financing. It's Cage's unhinged energy that propels these films, both in front of and behind the lens. In many ways, Nick Cage is the last bastion of an era in film where original stories were told. He's actively using his star power to push the art he wants to see in the world. But here's the thing. Nick Cage is rapidly aging out of a leading man status. So what happens when Nick Cage retires? What stories will we have then?
Start right before life begins on the planet. All is lifeless. And then life begins. With organisms.
It doesn't seem likely that there's going to be another generation of widely inventive filmmaking mavericks who are going to take the reins of the film world anytime soon. Most movie stars seem to have no real interest in attempting to foster this atmosphere. Is it possible that Nick Cage is currently training the next generation of performers to make risky and exciting decisions in his Las Vegas acting dojo? Sure, maybe, but in reality, unless Nick Cage trades his likeness to an army of AI clones in order for them to take over Hollywood after he's dead, we're probably screwed.
Open it! Open it! Open it! Open it! Open it! Open it!
And well, that's all we have for this episode of Nerdstalgic. What do you think? Are there other actors who have ostensibly become their own genres? Let us know in the comments below, and as always, please like, comment, and subscribe for more Nerdstalgic videos just like this.